All right. Am I drawing a triangle between these 3 points? Yeah. A circle. So circle, does that mean it is like looks like something like this? Remember, these are points on a circle with a center right here. So when you draw it, it should look something like this. Okay, somewhat a circle. Exactly, right. So when you draw it, don't take out a ruler, don't just connect the dots. Remember, you're trying to draw a circle. So your circle looks something like this, and yeah, the distance between each of these points should be equal. And so you would just do the distance formula. Distance formula between D and C should equal the distance between E and C, and it should be the same distance as F and C. All right. Okay. You use the distance formula: x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Okay. When you do that, what do you get? What did you get? Someone with the answer? Hambio? What did you get for number 4, the distance? Square root. Square root 5?
No, square root of 25.
Oh, square root of 25. So it goes down to 5. Okay, and it should be the same for all 3. Okay, and then what is the radius of the circle? It would just be 5 units, 5 centimeters, 5 meters, and so forth. Okay. Elizabeth, you got that too? Oh, no? Okay.
This one kind of confused me because it technically, because I think the wording of it says like verify the points are on the circle, but like it could have been like not on the circle. If you know what I mean?
Every point is verified.
Because like, does it like verify if you
I think you're thinking about the question too hard.
No, because it says like verify, but if it wasn't verified, we wouldn't be able to solve the question.
So how would you reword the question?
No, like this is like the correct word.
Oh, okay.
I thought, like, how would we know they're on the circle without like not giving any information about the circle except for the center? Yeah, I think I thought too hard.
Or I could reword it as a, so what's the equation of the circle? I want to see if you guys, what's the equation of the circle? Yeah? Oh, but the for the circle in particular.
X minus h would be like -2, so minus -2, which is plus 2.
Good.
Yeah, and then the square brackets.
Good.
And then yeah, plus brackets y plus 3 squared equals radius, which is 25.
Perfect. Good. So technically, I could say, given this equation of a circle, verify that these points are on the circle. Yeah, I could reword it like this because based on this equation, then you'll have to know that the center is -2, -3, and then plugging the points in, you should get 25.
I think
Yeah.
to answer all those questions.
So this will be on the list, like how to convert
Yeah, there was. I think there was a question like this on chapter 2.
Yeah, it was.
chapter 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, we were talking about chapter 3.
Both.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been chapter. Yeah, chapter 3 is like the deja vu of chapter 2.
Part 2.
So like instead of just finding a right bisector, now you have to find it in a triangle. Yeah, so that's why chapter 3 is not hard, especially since you guys did so well on chapter 2. I think you guys will do fine in this test. Prove that 3, 4 is the centroid of a triangle with vertices this mathematically. Okay. Okay, so this one asks for centroid. Okay. Do I need this whole page for centroid? Do I need this whole page to find the centroid? No, I don't need. I only need maybe this much space. Okay. Remember, how do we find centroid again? There is a formula. Just it. No. All right. What is the formula for to finding the centroid? Yep.
x1 plus x2 plus x3 over 3, comma, y1 plus y2 plus y3 over 3.
Yeah. Thank you, Junha. So when I sub it in, 3 plus 4 plus 2 divided by 3. Negative 4 plus 7 plus 9 divided by 3. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 divided by 3. I'm just showing every step. And then here, 16 minus 4, 12. Okay, when I reduce it, 3, 4. Ta-da! Yeah, so that's all you have to do for this one. Okay? So remember this formula. It's only for centroid. You cannot do, there's no shortcut formula for right bisector. Sorry. But since there is this shortcut, use it whenever you can. So if the question is asking for centroid, you can use this shortcut, and there you go. That's all you have to do. Okay. If I want to find it, if I want to find a middle place to place a school between 3 towns, am I talking about centroid or circumcenter or orthocenter? Centroid, right? Because it's the middle of all the 3. That's why we can use this formula, because it's like the average. This is like the average formula. Orthocenter, 3 altitude. Yeah. Okay. Number 6. Draw a quadrilateral with this, provide that it's a rectangle. Provide that the diagonals are equal in length and bisect each other. Okay. So I'll do this really quickly. -2, 3. That's A. -5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. That's B. -1, -5. That's C. 2, -3. That's D. Okay. So when you draw this and it doesn't look like a rectangle, it means you plotted the points wrong. Okay, so it's telling you that it's a rectangle. So when you draw it, it should look like a rectangle. Okay. Verify that this is a rectangle. So for part B, if I need to prove that it's a rectangle, what do I have to prove? Yep. How do I show that angles are 90? Right, angles are 90 degrees. Does that mean I have to do it 4 times? Do I have to check all 4 corners? So what Elizabeth said is check the slope of AB, for example, and that it should be perpendicular slope to BC. How many of these do I need to do? Yeah, just 2. Which 2?
The opposite vertices.
Yeah, so if I do this one, slope of AD is the perpendicular slope of CD. That's enough to show that. Okay, because when you talk about the line, it's already the whole line. So when you do the slope of this line, it's the same for A and B.
Is the only problem for rectangle angles are not equal?
Good question. Is a rectangle a square?
No.
Is a square a rectangle?
Yes.
Yes. So keep that in mind when you're trying to prove that. So if I want to prove that it's a rectangle, we need to prove that the angles are this. So just like what Paul said, that means I need to prove one more thing so that I know it's not a square, but it's a rectangle. What's the one other thing I need to prove then?
Maybe not all those 4 sides are not equal.
Right, the sides are not the same length. So, and again, I don't need to do it for all 4 sides. I just need to do it 2 sides. So the distance between BC is not the same distance as CD. As long as I can prove that the distance here and here is not the same, then that tells me it's not a square.
Aren't all squares rectangles? Then why are we proving that it's not a square? Square would be rectangle. What? Is that not? Wait, is it not that all?
Because that's not a square.
All squares are rectangles, not all rectangles are squares.
Yeah, but that's not a square. So we can't prove that. Yeah, but we can't prove that that's a square because that isn't a square. So we're proving it's a rectangle because it is a rectangle.
Why are we trying
No, he's just saying there's no point in proving, like,
Why
not
would we
proving it's a
Just
square.
prove it's a square so we can confirm it's a rectangle.
No,
Well,
but
no,
a square is a rectangle in the first place, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That is true. Okay, now the question makes sense. Okay.
Ryan already knows.
Ryan, you're so smart. No.
No, but I like that. Good point. Good point, Ryan. On the exam, there will be one question where you do have to prove something. So, like for example, it could be prove that the kite is not a diamond, or like a rectangle is a rectangle but not a square, or it's a quadrilateral is a parallelogram or something like that. So there will be some kind of proof that you have to like eliminate the different shapes as well. So that's a very good point. Okay. So for this one, to use the slope formula, this one is to do the distance formula. Part C, this is the interesting one. Verify the diagonals of A, B, C, D are equal in length and bisect each other. Okay, what does the word bisect mean? Yep. Cut in half, exactly. So, cut in half. So bisect doesn't only mean that it crosses but it's cut in half. So when you think of the word half, what other word comes up? Ryan? Midpoint. That's right. Midpoint. Okay, so that means AC, the midpoint of AC should equal the midpoint of BD. All right, and the distance between AC should equal the distance of BD. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Any question on these? So like I didn't write down the actual formulas and show the math, but it's just calculating the slope, calculating distance formula, calculating the midpoint, and I think we're pretty tired of doing that. So that's why I just listed the steps for you guys. Okay. Is there any of these parts that you want me to show? Are we good? Are we good with this question? Any question? Yeah.
If you ask us to prove this rectangle, would you also want us to prove that the opposites are parallel, or no? Because no.
Sorry, say that again.
If you want us to prove that it's quadrilateral or like a rectangle, would you want us to visually show how the opposite sides are parallel, like equal slopes?
Good point. If I can prove that the slopes are negative reciprocal to each other already, it's automatically that means these two lines are parallel and these two lines are parallel. So it already implies that. So technically, you could do either order. So you could either show that it's 90 degree, or you can show that AD is parallel to BC and AB is parallel to CD. But then that's not enough. Yeah, because then it could be a parallelogram and not a rectangle. Yeah. Paul?
The only two things you need to prove when it's a rectangle are perpendicular and that all four sides are the same.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Provide that the center of the circle lies on the right bisector of the chord DE. Now, where did we see this question before? Yeah?
I have a question about the last question.
Yeah, so this is what Ryan was saying, and then the other boys started to argue with him. So, because it's just asking you to show that it's a rectangle, it's not necessarily to show that the four sides are not equal, because a square is a rectangle as well. So even if the sides are equal, it's still a rectangle. But if I add in this right here and not a square, then you have to do this part. Okay. Okay, so this last question right here. I've seen this question before. It was on your last test. And so see how it's a continuation of the chapter 2 into chapter 3. So let's just go over the steps of what to do instead of doing the full calculation. So first off, what do I have to do to find the right bisector? Okay, this is point D, this is point E. So my first step, Elizabeth, find the midpoint of DE. Good. Second step. Yep.
Find the slope.
Slope of DE. Good. Third step, Ryan. Reciprocal slope. Negative reciprocal slope of DE. Good. Fourth step. Catherine? You put your hand up. Okay, Ryan?
Using y equals mx plus b, substitute y and x equals the midpoint, and move the reciprocal.
Perfect. Okay. Use y equals mx plus b to find b, and by using midpoint and the perpendicular slope. Okay. Okay. Next. Yep.
Draw the line.
After I draw that line, so I did all this. I could have drew the line before I did all this. So, yeah, and the line is already drawn. That's true. So put all this together. So we have the equation of the right bisector now in y equals mx plus 3 form. And then what? Yeah.
You see if the center lies on the line by substituting it.
Yeah. You have the equation of the line, and then sub center point into equation. Okay, to see if it satisfies it. Okay, and if it does, then yeah, the center is on the right bisector. Now, when we do this step, should it always work? When I do this step to verify, should left side always equals right side in this last step? So let's say this is a true or false question. Yeah.
Like you mean if it's a chord?
Yeah, like it's this is a chord, this is right bisector. I have to substitute the center point into the right bisector equation. Definitely true. We proved it. We proved it together on when we took up the test. Yeah. So if it doesn't, if when you do this step, left side doesn't equal right side, what does that mean? Yeah.
Each is not the center of the circle.
So
or is something wrong.
Exactly. Okay. So either it's not the center or you did something wrong here. So you want to make sure you double check.
Once you enter the midpoint of the slope to find the y equals m plus b, if it is going to the center, what if b equals 0?
Good job.
It should also tell you that it
Yeah.
does go to the center, so you don't have to do step 5.
Yeah. So like this is an easier question because it goes through 0. I could give you a different one where like the circle is over here and then it's not center 0, 0. Then you would still your y-intercept should still match up. So for example, if my circle is like somewhere here, and so the chord is like right here or something like that. So when I do this, it should still have a y-intercept, and that intercept should match up. Yeah. So then like these little things. That's what I love teaching you guys about. When you guys finish your test early, I always say double check, triple check your work. And when I say that, it doesn't mean just stare at your paper for another 10 minutes. It's like I'm trying to teach you guys different methods. Do different methods to check your work. So like, for example, this is another method to check based on that and so forth. Okay. So that's why I think my tests are easy, because like you could finish the test, you have a different way to check your work, and you know that you got perfect before you even leave. All right. Okay, so that's the first review package. How many of you got everything correct? Good. Okay, and that's why you guys are the 96 median class. All right, so this is on Brightspace. Try these out. You don't have to do every single question. I'm not doing homework check on Monday because it's the test day. So just study, do some questions, try it, practice. Okay, and you don't need your computer on Monday. It's going to be on paper because there's just too many steps to show. Okay, all good.